How we doing this evening? Happy Monday to everybody out there. And just want to send my thoughts out to everybody that's in the Carolinas or, anywhere that has been affected by the hurricane. I believe that's what it was called. That took place recently and dropped all that rain. I know here in Asheville, well, not here in Asheville, I'm in North Carolina, but in the Asheville area, they got struck pretty bad and people are still recovering. And it's going to take a while for everybody to recover. So continue to hope that if you're able to tune in and maybe you're affected by any of that you're able to find a little bit of escape in talking with me here for the next hour about the Carolina Panthers. The team is now 1-3 after another solid performance. They did not get the victory. They lost 34-24, but after another solid performance by Andy Dalton and company, we got some things that we're going to go over today with everybody. But again, the big reason for this show is being live and interactive so that as you all have questions, you're invited to come on the show, right? So you get to see me all week long, but this is my chance to see you and interact with you, whether it's a vent, whether it's a question, whatever it may be, a suggestion. I'm here for it all. Look at Charles. Charles was quick to come in. I like that. He gonna get it popping right off the bat. So Charles, give me just a second to continue to plug in, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started with the show. Also, Charles, give me a second to just pin this in the comments to allow everybody to come on as well, and then I'll pull you on just in a second. And if you notice, I'm looking at where the camera normally is, which isn't there. It's right here. I didn't bring my normal camera, so you don't have the blue background and all that other stuff going on because I'm having to use the camera on the MacBook. So sorry about that, but I'd like to explain everything that's going on. Let's see. Oh, let me pin this comment. I'm gonna come to you in just a second, Charles. Let's see. Let's see. All right. We got Thomas back as well. So I'm going to start getting to everybody in just a second. So for those who are savvy, the link is already in the description for you to come on and talk with me. But also I'm going to pin it here in the comments for you guys to join as well. So put that there. And do that. All right. So we got some things to talk about. And again, we're gonna have Charles up first. Once I get these headphones in. I got them in. Let me get my timer started so I can make sure. We're gonna give everybody like 3 or 4 minutes tonight. And let me just go ahead and bring Charles on while I get myself fully together. What's going on, sir?
What's going on, big time?
All right, hold on. I can't hear you. It could be me. Say something again.
I said, what's going on,
There,
man?
there we go. There we go. Loud and clear. It was me. Man,
Right.
it's a crazy Monday. How your Monday been?
Man, it's been better, but it's kind of ending like some other Mondays from years past. You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Did you have to work today?
yeah. I just got out not too long ago. I'm actually in Texas right now. I'm born and raised in North Carolina, but I moved to Texas like in April, so I'm an hour behind you, but I'm here. Nonetheless,
Where in Texas?
I'm in Everman, it's Dallas Fort Worth area.
Okay. I lived in
Yeah.
San Antonio for a minute. As long as you're in
My
San
daughter
Antonio,
lives there.
you're probably having a good time.
Yeah, my daughter lives there, so I'm actually about to go there the 24th of October. I'm gonna be out there.
What is that, down 35 or 10?
It's 35, I want to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
I don't know, man. It's craziness. The more things change, the more they stay the same. It's
Yeah.
kind of what I feel like we got going on right now. I don't got nothing offensively. I don't have much for Andy. Andy ain't do nothing wrong to me in my mind. He did.
Yeah.
He managed the game the best way he possibly could. The drops, you can't. The drops. You know what I mean? Like we gonna keep on going through this where we had these opportunities and we squandered them. No matter how many times, you look at it, we squander opportunities. So offensively, we struggling there. We still can't get that together. Defensively, man, if we lose another person, I don't know what to say at this point. Like, should we just give up for the year, or I mean, what should we do? Like, we keep losing Shaq, and hats off to Shaq. I love Shaq. I love Shaq because of his loyalty. He done stuck around with this team for all of this time. He ain't had but one winning season. You know, I
Yeah.
love Shaq. I love Shaq to death, and I hate to see that keep happening to him. I do. I can't stand it, man. But losing him after losing Derek Brown, and I think Josie Jewell went out a couple plays after Shaq. So we
Yep.
lost him too.
Yep.
And you know, I was good to see Trevin Wallace get in. I've been wanting to see what Trevin Wallace would do,
Uh
but I
huh.
didn't want it to be like this. You know what I mean? I didn't want it to be like this. I wanted to be something where we was good, we was on top, and we could throw him in and let him get some run. But it's gonna be tough now, man. The young guys really do have to step up. That's a old analogy and it's cliche as hell, but it's true. They got to step up. Somebody does at this point. Somebody got to step up defensively. If we can stop the run, I think we're all right in pass pro. Like, I mean, in pass coverage, I
Yeah.
feel like we're okay.
We
We're
are.
all right. But we got to affect the passer. You know, we got to get more rushing on the passer. Shout out to Clowney this week. I did see him hit that motor was running for him a little bit harder than it was, you
Yeah.
know, in weeks prior. So I'm glad to see that. We got some guys out there, man. We just trying to get everybody to do the same thing at the same time.
Yeah. I think I hadn't had a chance to do my research, man, but I think Deontay Johnson was a guy that was dealing with drops before he came here,
He
and I
was.
I
He was.
remember I forget which one they called it, but it was the practice that they had at the Bank of America Stadium. It was that practice where Jonathan Mingo flashed all kind of brilliance. So you got excited about him. And then
Right.
Deontay dropped a couple, and you're like, is that what happened in Pittsburgh a little bit? And
Yep.
so you saw that yesterday. And again, like, man, it's one of those things where honestly, I look at it as it was a lot of things that happened yesterday that that need to be fixed and addressed.
Yeah.
But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, man, guess what? I watched that entire game yesterday to the end, feeling like there was an opportunity for something to happen, and
Likewise.
feeling like it was a
Likewise.
team that had some possibility. Like when they were down by 10, I'm like, okay, this could happen. Let me see what's gonna happen. It didn't happen, obviously, but I'm
Right.
certainly. I feel like just want to take a moment to be like, yeah, and we're gonna talk about all the things they need to improve on. But man, it feels good to watch a football game that they lost, and it still wasn't like an atrocity.
It still felt good, right? Yeah, it still felt good. As crazy as that is to say, it actually still felt good because we didn't just lose the game. It didn't happen like that, you know. Missed opportunities and things like that. The scoreboard don't necessarily always tell the story. It don't. Just
Yeah,
because it looked the way it looked, it doesn't always tell the story. I like the fire and Colts going for it on fourth down. Another drop, another drop right there on that punt. Another damn drop. But you know what I'm saying? Like the plays were there. The opportunity was there. I saw the vision. I saw what he was trying to do. And had we executed on some of those drops or those misplays, the tackling. Oh my God, the tackling. Like we gotta go. And it's not necessarily they fault defensively. I'll say that because the way the NFL has changed the rules nowadays, these dudes are scared to hit. They really are. Because everything is a penalty.
I, wa-
Everything is a flag now.
I can't give you that one, Charles. I can't give you
I'm
that one.
telling you, listen, from the horse collar joints, from horse collars to what's the other one now that you can't do no more? What's the
Like a
new one that
drop
they
drop
can't
hip
do?
something
The
tackle.
drop hip tackle. Like it's almost like you get there and you playing a video game, you trying to figure out what button to hit to make the right tackle. That's kind of what these guys are going through now. Some of it
Charles,
is just poor. It's just poor tackling.
you
I'm not
can't
gonna lie.
try to get
Throwing
another
shoulders,
grown man like this and not
yeah.
continue to drive your legs. They just
Correct.
grabbing
And
and
you
going
can't
dead
throw
leg.
shoulders. Yeah,
And
you
that's
can't
why he
throw
fall.
shoulders at people. I saw Xavier Woods do it a couple of times. He's good for that. He throws shoulders. That's not a tackle. That's a bump. I can take a bump. You know what I'm saying? I can take a bump. You know what I mean? That's easy. But tackling, yeah, it's about fundamentals with a lot of things, not to be on some coach speak, but truthfully, it does come down to fundamentals. looking the ball all the way in, making a complete tackle, wrapping the man up. Those are fundamental things. Those aren't things, you know what I mean? Like you either quit with it or you're not. Those are things you taught since you were 7. You know what I mean? I started playing ball when I was 7 years old, man. So I've known how to tackle and catch and do all of that since I was 7. And I'm
Yeah.
older than a couple of them guys. So I know they know how to do it.
Hey, let me ask you this, and also people that are watching, I encourage you to call in. This is, Monday shows are interactive and live for that reason. Whether you got an event, question, whatever it is, link is in the description. Also, is pinned in the comments. So please consider doing so. But Charles, let me ask you this before I let you go. Do you feel like this is a different team? It's a two-part kind of question. Do you feel like it's a different team? Like we're no longer what we were, and do you feel like Canales might want to stay with Andy because he feels like he can call a game the way that he want to call a game?
Uh, yes and yes to your questions. And I say that because, I mean, we still got some remnants of the same stuff. Like, until we win 3 games,
Oh,
this
you gonna put that
season ain't
three,
no different. You see what I'm saying? Until we win 3 games, this season is no different. If
three
we don't,
overall?
3 overall. Like, because you got to start small. I can't go for you can't go for the gusto when we ain't win but 2 games last year. So you want to be better than you were the year before. So in order to say that we are better, we have to win more games. So until I see more games being won, yeah, I do feel like we're a different team because the mentality is different. But it's easy to go back down when you take a blow like you took this past week. Not the loss, the people that you lost, the players that you lost. We don't have no captains that actively play. You understand that, right? All of our captains are hurt. They're all on IR.
Well, Bryce ain't
So
hurt. His feelings might be hurt.
well, yeah, that's you're right about that.
but
I
but
give
you
you
know,
that.
I'll say he hurt. I'll give you that. He's hurt.
Yeah, I give you that. But yeah, so it's who's leading the team at this point. Who's leading the team? Who are the vocal leaders on the team? Not saying that they're not there just because they're hurt, but we need the guys that's gonna be on the field. So who's leading the team? You got that part. Like who's leading the team. So I do feel like we're different, and I do feel like Dave is gonna stick with Andy because truth be told, he does give you the best chance to win. He
He won't
does
say
right
why.
now
He won't say why.
because offensively I can call a play and I know it can get executed if he's in there. I can't do that with Bryce Young, you know. But yeah,
You right, man.
I,
Hey, I didn't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
no, you good, man. I just want to tell you it was good seeing you again, man. I seen the fit from the other game. What was that? What was that plum that you had on the
Yeah,
suit?
yeah.
That was plum.
I had
Yeah,
to
I
say that
saw.
for Vegas.
I saw you out there. I said, "Look at him, man." I saw you out there
I cleaned up. My wife get on me. She be like, "You even dressing up? Go to the game. You don't dress up around the house." I say, I can't wear a suit around the house.
around the house now. No,
But
not around
but
the house.
but we get a little date night. Nah, I got
Yeah,
you.
there you go. That's what we say them times for, man. I don't get to wear no clothes, man, because I work too much. But when I do, I clean up.
Yeah. Appreciate you much, man. And if I don't talk to you before you take that trip down to San Antonio to see the daughter, man, be safe and just wave when you go by for
I
me.
got you, big time.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, brother, be good, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're gonna keep on rolling. Let's see. Oh, we got 2 people in the room. Okay, give me guys just a second. Let me also check the comments. Make sure we got some. Oh, where the members at? Our members hadn't joined in. By the way, this is bothering me. Like it's a little. The color on the video isn't exactly right. But again, I don't have my normal camera on, so this is kind of what you get right now. But you guys are making. Let me just put this up here. Me and Charles was talking about this right here. Uh-oh. Me and Charles was talking about this right here. 2024 team captains. This is like the Madden cover jinx right here, right? This is nothing but the Madden cover jinx. You got Derek Brown, gone. Sam Franklin, he hadn't made it out there yet. Bryce Young, bench. Shaq Thompson vowing to come back. That's rough. That is rough, but nevertheless, next man up. For me, the next man up. Oh, he got on a Carolina Panthers shirt today, like a Victory Monday.
Hey, got to do what you got to do. I mean, after all these losing seasons, I mean, I'm not going to let a Monday loss affect my Monday.
Thomas, was it a good Monday loss? Well, I'm sorry, was it a good Sunday loss? Or
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I was thinking to myself while I was watching the game, I was like, this team last year, if they got down, I weren't they down by like what, 17 at one point? If this was the team from last year, they would have just folded and gave up. But this team tried. They showed some grit. I mean, it was too little, too late. But at least they didn't just give up and let Cincinnati score another 20, 30 points on them. They tried. So that right there, I'm like, right there, that it's that culture of like, look, we're not down because the game's not over yet. So let's just keep going. And I felt like that's what they were trying to do yesterday. So
yeah,
that kind of helps.
even I forget the exact quote from some players, but even the players were saying like things are different now, right? Like we're not
Oh yeah,
that
you
that other
see
team.
it.
They're saying it.
Oh yeah, you can see it on the field. I mean, now granted, tackling was a bit of an issue yesterday, but that's one thing to where you can try to clean that up as you go along. But no, just that overall morale is a lot better now. I don't know if that's going to be the same. Like, let's say they're 2-12 down the road, but just for some reason, this team just seems different, and I think they might have found their potential coach for the next few years, as long as Tepper doesn't get finger happy and wants to fire somebody yet again. But no, it was. I don't. I know they say there's no such thing as a good loss, but I think for a morale point of view and for fans, like, hey, it's something to build on. But I don't know. After yesterday, seeing all those injuries, Chris, oh boy. Oh my goodness! It's like as soon as the offense starts playing better, we get bit on the defensive injury bug. It's just god awful. I feel like this team always has the injury bug, but I don't know. Just seeing one person go down after another, it's like it'd be nice if Morgan could bring in some reinforcements, but I don't know if they can because of the salary cap. But I don't know. I mean, it's too early to tell. I mean, I think they should get some pieces back, maybe because Sam Franklin, as you said, hasn't seen the field yet. So I know he had some moments last year, so maybe that will help. But I don't know. And Clowney, he's kind of inconsistent. We need somebody that can rush the passer. That was the problem yesterday. There was times that Burrow just had all day to throw, like he was on a picnic. That's what it seemed like.
Hey, there weren't times. That was the entire game that
Oh
Burrow
yeah,
had time to throw.
I was just like, and the thing is, what kind of annoyed me was, they kept saying like, "Oh, this is a good win for the Bengals." Okay, first of all, yes, I know a win, but when you're playing a team that's won a total of 3 games in what 15, 16 games, wow, great, you beat a team you were supposed to beat. Good job for you. But no, I don't know. I'm just hoping now that I hope they beat Chicago, so Chicago fans can shut up about this whole draft thing. It's annoying because of the fact it's like they keep saying they won this trade. This one, like, okay, well, your offensive weapons haven't really produced yet. I mean, DJ Moore, yeah, he scored a touchdown, but he hasn't had that many like successful games. It seems like I don't know. It's just that I want them to win so they can just shut up the Bears fans. That's the annoying part right there. Is the Bears fans
Well, I would Thomas right now give them the win on the trade. I would say they won it for sure, and
for now.
and right now let me also say this: I 1,000,000% hope that we win this Sunday. Like
Oh God.
absolutely, positively want that win against Chicago this
Mm-hmm.
week, especially with Andy Dalton back at quarterback. You no longer have that that Caleb Bryce. It's just going to be
Mm-hmm.
Andy, but I may need security when I go up there and do my live broadcast, man. That the fans don't get me. But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say one more thing about DJ's
Mm-hmm.
slipping performance this year. He has a rookie quarterback, so I feel like they're still getting some chemistry going there, and I judge that a little bit more later on this season for
Mm-hmm.
DJ and Caleb over there. You got any predictions on the record for this team right now? We're almost kind of technically a quarter of the way into the season.
Mm-hmm. At the beginning of the season, I thought if they could get 6 wins, that'd be great because you tripled what you have. I'm still gonna hold on to 6, maybe 7,
Yeah.
but I think eventually I can see the injuries starting to take a toll, especially on defense, because the offense can only do so well. But what I'm just curious on come trade deadline is, let's say they're 1-6 or whatever. Are they going to trade away some of your veteran people, your offensive people, like an Adam Thielen or a Deontay Johnson? Because I'd at least keep Thielen because he's your veteran presence, and he was on the sidelines like riling them up. So it's like you want to keep that, and it feels like he wants to be there.
Yeah. Um, those are some things to think about. I hadn't really thought too much into that as far as, hey, what would we do if we're going bad, really out of it? Because I guess right now I'm still cheering for this game against Chicago, and I'm also
Right.
looking at it. I think the previous caller was Charles. He said,
Mhm.
once we get to 3 wins, I feel like we're certainly going to get 3 wins. We're
Yeah.
at the pace now. Of course, it's early on where we would have 4 wins, but I feel like it's some possibilities. I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
we could now talk about any given Sunday
Hmm.
with the Carolina
Oh,
Panthers. No,
definitely.
that no, they're not going to win every single time, but I think
Hmm.
any given Sunday, hey, well, oh my, look at this connection to Andy and Deontay. He's not dropping any balls today, right?
Hmm. Oh, definitely. And that's the thing with what they got going on. If they can continue, they can be a spoiler for a lot of these teams, and they can put up points. I mean, second week in a row they scored. Was it 24 points? They barely cracked that last year. So you've scored the past couple games. What, 36 and now 24. So far you already obliterated your most amount of points you scored all of last year. It seemed like, granted, I think they put 30 up on Green Bay but still lost last year. But I don't know. I think if they can definitely get the 4 or 5, then 6 is not out of the question. That's what I always want them to make the playoffs, don't get me wrong, but I think 6 is doable. But we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves and not get upset that, let's say, if they win only 3 or 4 games, oh, Canales has got to go. He's trying to figure out as he goes, game by game. Sure, there was some questionable calls. Like, I think I like the fourth down punt. I mean the fake punt, great. But the one thing I didn't understand is, like, when granted you're down by 10 or whatever towards the end of the game, there was no sense of urgency. It's like you had 3 timeouts, but at first, but they just kind of took their time, and then just Andy tried running and ran out of time. But I think that's the stuff you learn that's the stuff you learn as a coach. But he's learning. He's learning on the job, and I gotta appreciate that. I mean, he had a lot of guts yesterday in one game than like the coach, like Frank Wright did all of last year. But I don't know. I mean, I think we might have found our coach that can be here for a while as long as Tepper can just stay away. So far, he's kind of done that a little bit. Maybe starting to listen to his people, but I don't know. Only time will tell.
Yeah. Thomas, thank you so much. I got to get to some other people, but it's always good to see you, man.
Have a good night, Chris.
All right, take care.
Yep. Bye.
Bye bye. All right, so we're working our way through. Shaked, I see you patiently waiting. I hope you will continue to patiently wait. And just want to encourage everybody that's watching the video, hit that like button. Help us continue to grow. And subscribe. Do that as well. And we do have memberships available for those who want to help support independent media. Myself, Brian Gallagher, Patrick Snyder, and our production guy, VJ. Appreciate anytime you guys can support us. So let me just take a quick glance at these comments here, see if any of our members jumped in. No members jumped in yet. So we're going to keep rocking and rolling through this thing. The link is in the description for those who want to join the show, and I hope you will. All you need is a phone, computer, whatever has a camera and internet connection. You can come join the show, bring you on. And we're going to go next to the mad. I don't know, is he mad or happy today? How you feeling today?
Happy and mad.
You're
Mad
you're
at the
at
de-
you're at home today.
mad mad at the defense, which if you saw my tweet from week 1, I've been Alsh and Navarro. And even last year. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Chris. We have injuries. But at the same time, when you cannot tackle, is that injuries or is that effort? So that is effort. I mean, we we gave the game away, realistically, and also the officials were terrible yesterday. And
Oh yeah.
the frustrating part about officials, unless I'm mistaken, they can be terrible. There's no consequence, such as losing their job. In one instance, they called a penalty against the Panthers. JJ Jensen went and spoke with him. They immediately picked up the flag. And all of those pass interference toward the end of the first half were very, very questionable calls, to say it politely. So they were terrible. And the defense, I mean, I joked about it, but I don't know. Maybe it was the truth. Joe Burrow, I don't think he needed to take a shower after the game yesterday because he wasn't fit. And I mean, Clowney from Rock Hill, everyone talked about him, homecoming, homecoming. Where is the sacks from him? I mean, last year, I believe he had 12 and a half. And it's not just them, but you expect a veteran defensive player to show up. And he has not done so far. Now, the happy part, the offense. The offense look night and day difference from the Chargers game, from the Saints game. They're alive. And I really like all the wrinkles called by Dave Canales. We didn't see that last year. Frank Reich, Steve Wilkes, Matt Rule, you name it. But you see so many players in motion, jet sweep. Sanders and Chuba both line up together, one running back, one fullback, one wide receiver. And it's exciting to watch. It's exciting to watch. And yesterday, I don't know if you guys felt it in the press box, but from a fan perspective, it felt like a playoff game yesterday. Everyone was cheering. Fans were yelling, let's go Panthers. When we were on offense, it was energizing yesterday, which in the past, we haven't seen that. And like I told you, Chris, before the season started, Dave Canales, he has the chance to be like Dan Campbell. And I'm not talking about the language because Dan Campbell is more of a rude guy. But personality wise, I mean, going for it, punt, the fake punt, which I told the fan a second earlier, it's going to happen and all of that. So the aggression, that is something we didn't see last year. We see it with Dan Campbell, we see it with Canales, and this team can win 7 games, maybe 8. Who knows? Because in the NFL, you don't know who's going to be good, who's going to be bad. You can have I mean, no one expected the Jaguars to be 0-4. They're 0-4. So the Eagles lost terrible yesterday. So it's the NFL. You can beat anyone, you can lose to anyone.
So, Ked, I hope that you're not a manager at your job. Please tell me you're not like a supervisor or manager. You can be a lead, but not a manager.
No, but it's my personality, being honest.
Because you would fire everybody. They come
Like
to
that?
work late without a good excuse. You're fired. Yeah, you have you met Tepper?
No.
You
But
guys probably.
here's the where I'm from, Israel, soccer games. Soccer coaches into the season, I'm talking about 20, 30 games. They go 0-4, they'll fire. No question about it. Even veteran coach. So it's my Israeli culture that you do a terrible job, you don't get the second, third, fourth, fifth chance. No offense, but you are fired.
I like it. I like it. Uh, yeah, in the press box, we don't get to feel everything. Certainly, when the stadium's rocking, it's pretty loud. You can get a good idea, but we're enclosed inside the suites, if you will.
So,
So I didn't get a chance to feel all of that energy, but it was a good game to watch. And
was going to say, sorry, cut you off. And the play that they stated the forward progress stop and the whistle was blowing, we did not hear any whistle. That's how loud it was. That typically Panthers games, unfortunately, in the past, you can hear their official whistle and all of that. Yesterday, when they stated that the whistle was blowing, none of us heard it.
Yeah, that referee. I don't know. I haven't looked through everything yet. I don't know if anybody's talked about that officiating yesterday, but it was certainly the back-to-back pass interference calls on Mike Jackson and JC. Then, as you said, the darn it, you just said it, Shaked. The stoppage of forward progress.
Right, and
That's
then with Jen, I don't know. Maybe I'm kidding. Maybe the officials were betting for one of the underground. Thank you, Cincinnati. Joking aside, but officials should be disciplined. You do a terrible job, there should be consequence, and there is not.
Yeah, I don't know the exact path that they go with that. I know in the NBA they have more grading that they do on those guys, but
I
nevertheless,
do have a
any
quick question, please.
yeah.
I know you guys on Monday you go to the locker room, but I am wondering, since you guys are going to the locker room, why are you guys speaking to Canales through Zoom, which seemed like COVID time, and not in person?
So I haven't been going on Mondays. It's not always an open locker room on Monday, and one of the things with Zoom is it allows us all to more people to participate without having to be there. Uh, and sometimes they may do that depending on some other activities going on at the stadium as well to help people out with not having to go there. Because when they do have other major events, things are different for me to get in there. Like, yeah, we do have access, but it's just kind of one of those, since most guys aren't going in the locker room or available in the locker room on a Monday, that they would just do the Zoom calls.
I see. And final point, Canales' opening statement did not make excuses like previous coaches. He told it how it is.
Yeah, and that's an improvement. Was that it? I'm gonna let you off if that was it. All right,
Yep,
thanks, man. It's always good to see you.
you too.
Thanks. Yeah, and that was my biggest issue at the beginning of the season when they were, especially that game in New Orleans, that I didn't like the way that Canales started off and didn't immediately just go and take a lot of the blame for what was going on, because that game was special teams, offense, defense, everything was so atrocious. But I would say he's a first year coach. He's learning on the job. Today, when he talked about Shaq Thompson, and we got to talk about Shaq Thompson, he mentioned that Shaq's been one of the guys that has supported him as he's going through this process of becoming a coach and being a coach for the first year. So I think that's some of what Davis experiences, some of those growing pains. And again, the link is in the description. This show is live 100% for the reason of taking your questions, whether it's comments or whether you call in. Obviously, the call-ins get to skip the line, I like to say. And I keep hitting the wrong button. Let's see. Let's not hit the wrong button. We did the wrong button again. Let's see if we can do the right button this time. All right. So we can't do the right button. So we're not going to do the shortcut anymore. We're just going to put this out there. Let me see if I got a picture of Shaq. We're going to talk about Shaq Thompson here for a second, and then I'm also going to touch on some of the comments that have come in. By the way, I know this is a football show, particularly for the Carolina Panthers, but for those who may be NBA fans as well, unfortunately today there was a passing of Dikembe Mutombo. He died at 58 years of age with brain cancer. Once again, Dikembe Mutombo passed away today at the age of 58 with brain cancer. Really unfortunate. But I am going to touch on Shaq Thompson is what I was looking for. See if I had a picture of Shaq. I don't think I have a great picture of Shaq. But I will from man Charles. I'm going to put this picture up right here. Let's see. Might not fit properly. But let's get this other one over here. And I'm going to get to some of these comments as well. Let's see. Tell me what you guys think. How do we look? How do we look? That was the game day outfits for Charlotte Vibe. Myself on your left, Chris Jenkins, and then our new co-host, Brian Gallagher. We need a sponsorship from Apple. You can't see my Apple logo, but you can certainly see his Apple logo on his computer. So if you appreciate two guys working hard, I know we got a lot of people watching right now. Go ahead and take a minute, hit that like button, show us some love, at least for the outfits that we had on yesterday, and we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right, let's check out some of these comments here. What's going on, Antonio? Thank you for stopping by and checking us out. And do what Antonio says, right? Antonio has words of wisdom. Like, subscribe, and share the stream. Some really good words of wisdom from Antonio. Appreciate you subscribing and checking us out. Matt Carter, lovecharlottevibe.com. We appreciate you very much. The defense is depleted, yeah. So I know one of the things that, and then this for the defense is depleted now. Thompson out for the year. Now the team has to work on defense. The Panthers cut so many players on defense hurt. So let's talk about. Oh man, I just lost my train of thought. What was I about to talk about? The defense. LoveCharlotteVibe.com. Yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about the defense. So, unfortunately, Shaq Thompson is going to be out for the year due to an injury. Let me see if I can get this injury exactly correct for you all. He had an Achilles tear. Shaq Thompson suffered an Achilles tear yesterday against the Cincinnati Bengals. He made it 4 games into the season. I forget how many he played last year, but it wasn't many. He missed most of the season last year. He's going to miss it again. And so the question is, was that the last time that we're going to see Shaq Thompson in a Carolina Panthers uniform? Shaq on Instagram today put this post. Let me see if I can put this on the screen for you guys. I think I can get it on the screen for you pretty quickly. Let's see. Did he take it down already? Wow, I think he took it down. Wow. Why would he take it down? Let me see if I can find it somewhere else. He's taking it down. I don't know why he took it down. All right. I got you. I knew I could find it. Let me share with y'all what Shaq Thompson posted on Twitter today. Oh, he did not take it down. I am incorrect. He had it as an Instagram story is what he did. My bad. I did not think he would take it down because it wasn't something that was like, just bad. It was just something I would see as normal. Give me just a second. I'm going to put this on the screen for you. All right, here we go. And then I got some news things that I do want to share with you guys as well before we get off of here. Don't know if one of the little people are going to come in here and join the show, but here's Shaq's post, man. He said, "Y'all think I'm gonna retire? Ah, yeah, right. I'll be back." And that's him on Instagram today. Looks like responding to a post from Ian Rappaport on his injury of tearing his Achilles. So I don't think this is going to be the last time that you see Shaq in a uniform. I do think it could very well be the last time that you see him in a Carolina Panthers uniform. Just for the reason, like I think it was last year. Yeah, it was questionable if Shaq was going to be returning, and I feel like he was like, yeah, well, this is where the money was, so this is where I'm at. I'm here to play ball again. Also saying that he liked Carolina and wanted to stay here. Maybe he was saying something about, I forget the exact money reference, so maybe I just shouldn't have mentioned that. But it really did seem like last year it was a decent chance that I don't know if Shaq Thompson is coming back. And it was like, yeah, he's back. He wanted to run with his guys. Now, you have a second injury that's going to keep you out for well beyond, half of the year, basically 3/4 of the season that he's going to miss. I think that it could be a pretty fair possibility that he's not back with the Carolina Panthers and that we see Shaq Thompson playing for Sean McDermott and the Buffalo Bills next season, or some northern team that we go to when they leave Carolina. But I feel like it may be hard for Carolina to keep him just because they may go evaluate they're looking at I think Brad Edgick talked about looking at not Brad, I forget the other guy. He's not the general manager, but he's like the cap manager guy. But he says he looks at 1, 2, 3 years out. You can't really look much further out than that. As you're trying to plan your roster, look at your money and see what you have. And I think as they go and they look out year 2, year 3 with Shaq, and let's see how Trevin plays the rest of the season, then you might say, okay, well, this guy has been banged up. We might keep him, but only if he's willing to come at a reduced rate. If he needs to stay at his market rate, we're not willing to give him that at this time because we're going to use those funds for building some more younger guys on this team. That's how I feel like the story could go for Shaq. I feel like, again, we'll see him in a uniform, but I don't know how long that will continue to be a Carolina Panthers uniform. And Trevin Wallace, I'm excited for his opportunity. I remember watching him at that game in Buffalo, ironically, and this guy was just running all over the field. I mean, like, it was one series where I feel like it was like a 9-play series, and Trevin was in on 7 of the 9 plays, including almost having an interception in that game. So obviously it'll be different when he's playing against starters and they're game planning things out, but I feel like he's a guy that can continue to progress and, fill out that role that Shaq Thompson had. Even though I gotta do the round of applause for Shaq. Shaq in his 10th year has been really, really balling out. Double-digit tackles the first 2 games and playing solid in every game. Really solid in every game. So certainly a guy that will be missed on that defensive side. And for the concern that we have on defense, which is legitimate, you lose Josie, you lose Shaq, you already got Derek out, you got Jadeveon who's been playing, okay, which I don't feel like anybody should be disappointed that Jadeveon's not getting sacks every single week. I think if he did, then you're like, yeah, we won, we got the jackpot. It's like winning your parlay. I don't bet, but maybe it's like winning your parlay. But I think otherwise, when you get veterans at this age, and they get them at this position all the time. I mean, I remember Jared Allen, was it, when he came to the team? Like, guys at that age and at that position, you don't know when a tank's gonna just be out. And I'm not saying it's out, but just from that really, really high production level that they had, that is what leaves. And then you're left with still a solid player, a good player, but you're not with Jadeveon, the Pro Bowl player. You're not with Jared Allen back then, the Pro Bowl player. So I feel like we're getting, we're doing okay with Jadeveon. Don't expect him to be out there leading the sacks. And also, even if he was as good as he used to be, or just a little bit less, he doesn't have much pressure that's coming from the other side to help avoid the double teams and things like that. But I will say some of the times that I was watching the Jadeveon this weekend, he was doing a bull rush, and that bull rush was just trying to get outside, and he didn't really get the leverage that he needed to be able to get pressure on the quarterback in a good way. Now he kept at it, but he wasn't getting the pressure on the quarterback that he needed to get. All right, let's go ahead, and since we're talking about defense, and I'm again waiting for guys to call in, girls to call in, you all to call in, and please continue to leave comments, and I will go through them. Actually, I'll go through a few more comments. What's going on, Dotrell? Appreciate you tuning in, checking out the show. Forest City said they need to revote the captain. So Canales did talk about the captains today, and interestingly, he danced around it to say they're not changing it. The captains are the captains, and they'll continue to find special guys each week that represent Panthers football and come out for the coin toss. But did not say, yeah, we're going to get some new guys out there. And that might be kind of out of a respect for those guys that were captains to say, hey, you're still a captain. Don't want this to be like a, rest in peace kind of thing. Like, okay, you're gone. Let those guys continue to have it. They earned it. And then just continue to rotate those new guys in. Oh, Forest City with a prediction. He says he think we can win 5 games. So earlier I did ask about how many games you think this Carolina Panthers team can win. He says 5. So we're at 1. So that's 4 more. Yeah, I feel like 6. 5, 6 is a good number for this team to win. I strongly don't feel like we're heading for another 2-5 or even the worst record in the league. I strongly don't feel like that's where we're going to be going. What's going on, C-Dog? Appreciate you tuning in, as you always do. Offense and defense let me down. Too many missed catches, too many points allowed. I'm glad they did as well as they did, but they could have won. Yeah, Neo. Let me see. I think did I have that catch in there? Look at this. Look at this, man. This is what we had happen yesterday. Too many of these. He dropped this one, and then he also didn't catch the fade route in the end zone. I feel like he had another drop. I know Xavier Legette was in on a drop. I know Felipe Franks was in on a drop. Jonathan Mingo, he waited till the game was almost over. He got in on a drop. So that certainly didn't help Andy's case yesterday, but it was definitely a different game to watch. And shouts out to my man J.C. Horn, who said it's a different vibe around his team. Charlotte Vibe would appreciate that. He said it's a different vibe around his team, and I certainly feel like it is. I'm happy to watch games where you feel like there's an opportunity to win. Let me also give some props out to J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn had the 7th longest distance traveled for a tackle. This guy hustles. And shouts out to JC for continuing to stay healthy. I hope I have no kind of jinx whatsoever like they have on TV when they do that. But he's healthy through 4 games. He plays lights out. He leaves it all on the table. But he had the 7th longest play for a tackle yesterday. Unfortunately, and here's the unfortunate part, it was on the play that Shaq Thompson got hurt. So that wasn't a good thing. Let me see if I can find the exact yardage for you guys to pass it along. I think I got it. Nope, that was not it. I know I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Charts. Now I feel like I'm not going to find it. Oh, yeah. Here we go. I got you. Longest tackles. Did you know the things that you get from watching Charlotte Vibe? But I appreciate you guys each and every week for tuning in. All right, longest tackle, week 4, would have featured the one, I'm stalling, waiting for it to come up, the only J.C. Horn, cornerback, ran 49.7 yards to make the tackle in the third quarter on a play where Joe Burrow hit Moss up the middle for 21 yards. JC ran 49 yards to make that tackle. So love the hustle, JC Horn. Love the mentality of JC Horn. Love everything about JC Horn. Shouts out to him and hope that he continues to play and be healthy. Let's continue to rock through a few more of these comments. Cloudy, not known for getting sacks. He's a run defender. He got a good amount of sacks last year, 12.5, so they're still hoping that he gets that. Patrick, I'm not sure what you're saying, but I appreciate you tuning in. Here we go. Here we go. We got a member that tuned in. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Hey, I would like Shaq back, similar to a Thomas Davis deal, and still draft a linebacker. That way it's not a fall off in quality and the right habits are taught from the last player to witness a winning season. Yeah, let's see what Shaq Thompson's getting paid right now. Let's see if we can. He's on a 1-year deal? Ooh. This doesn't seem right. 23, 24. Man, it looks like Shaq is on a 1-year deal. And excuse me if I'm not exactly right. I don't look up this information a lot of times. So I'm kind of digesting it as I look over it for you guys. Yeah, it looks like he's on a 1-year deal. And if he is, with $3 million, yeah, I'm not sure what to say about him come back, because to me that's about where he'd want to be. I don't know if he wants to go down much lower than that $3 million at that position. So we'll see. Chance Hines. All right, so we got some members coming in here late. Chance Hines, another member, joining us. What's going on, Chance? We're almost wrapping up, but I appreciate you coming in. Better late than never. Shannon Tyler says, we really need to hit that draft hard this offseason. All defensive is a must. How many years ago was it that we went all defense on the team? It was not, I don't remember what year that was, but we went all defense quite recently, so maybe there's a time for us to do that again. Let me just throw in a few miscellaneous things to you guys. We actually did cover all of my notes here. JC, Shaq, Adam Thielen and Deontay. I think Thomas Frisbee already talked about that, which is, what to do with some of these veterans if we're getting near that trade deadline and we're doing bad. I hadn't wrapped my mind around that too much because I don't feel like we're going to do bad. I feel like we're going to be competitive. And we're not to say that we will not have a decision to make and may make some moves, but I don't think it's going to be like, actually, I don't know. Let me not say it like that. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Let's end with some photos, because our guy, Patrick Snyder, does an excellent job with photos. So we're about to wrap up here. Again, current standings for this NFC South: Carolina Panthers at the bottom, 1-3, but only 2 games back. New Orleans Saints at 2-2, Falcons 2-2, as well as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in first place, playing some really good ball at 3-1. Next up for the Carolina Panthers is the Chicago Bears. I will be there as always, covering every single game. So anytime you have a moment to support the channel and what we do, whether it's a super chat, whether it's becoming a member, or even the free option of just hitting the like button, greatly appreciate it and hope that you do so. Chance, you said that you have a question, but you hadn't typed it yet. So Chance, I will stay on long enough to hear your question and answer it. Meanwhile, let's look at some great photos from yesterday. Xavier Legette, after scoring his first touchdown, and he rode, I forget is his horse named Dollar? He rode his horse Dollar after that. Andy Dalton doing a little scrambling. Better passer than a scrambler. And this is some bad defense here. Chase with a nice little touchdown. Chuba, man, almost being put in a horse collar of some sorts, right? That's playing football right there. That's playing football. And this is what happened way too many times yesterday. Drop passes. But nevertheless, Chance did type his question, so I will end with this. You hear anything about Jewell, how bad he got hurt? So is it Josey Jewell? Yeah, Josey Jewell. Man, it was almost like back-to-back. But Josey Jewell did get hurt. There is further information about him. Fortunately, it's not nearly as severe as Shaq, where Shaq's out for the season. Josey's injury, I think he had 2 hamstring and maybe groin. don't quote me on that exactly, but you can quote me on this. Josie will not play this week. His injuries are going to take some time, will be week to week, but already can rule him out for this week. And then we'll continue to see how things go, being a week to week situation. So Josie's injuries is, mild, but certainly enough where he is already ruled out for this week versus the Bears. You're going to have the next man up mentality that they have to live with and go through. And for the people that are concerned about this defense, yeah, we're certainly missing some pieces, but here's where you may have some savior. Our offense is playing better football. We are able to run the ball better than we have been before. Something happened. I feel like we got out-coached this past weekend versus the Bengals, but that first half, time of possession was 2-1. So if you know that your defense has a lot of missing parts, then you want to keep them off the field as much as you can. And Dave Canella showed that he has the ability to call a game that will give us that opportunity to give us the best chance to win. So for all those that are, feeling down about the defense, what are we going to do? We need to get into the draft immediately. We need to draft all defensive guys. Just know that your coach, Dave Canales, knows how to play some ball possession, knows what keeps them having the best opportunity to win. And now with this new quarterback, Andy Dalton as your starter, he feels like he can get those plays executed as he wants. So I feel like it could not be as bad as we're thinking, but certainly prayers for Shaq and his recovery and being back out there on the field pretty soon. So thank you all for tuning in. Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe. I'll see you again. I was saying Wednesday, but we always have news and transaction. So I'll see you as soon as there's more Carolina Panthers news.